Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 25th January 2025. In this video, I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. And also it is end of the week. I will be generating few additional weekly reports also. Even before that, all of you please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing the cost of the training is over 8,000 US dollars, but we are providing complete free training as part of NeoStock Software promotional activities. And please access all the training lessons at our NeoStock YouTube channel. At our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. All training lessons are available here. You just need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So please join at our Telegram channel. It will be helpful to you. Each time we release a new video or any other important updates, we will be providing at our Telegram channel. Now let's get into the report generation. First, we will identify stocks near demand and supply zones or price closed inside the demand and supply zones for higher time frames. Starting with the yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone. No stocks are available near any demand zone. And yearly time frame, price closed inside the demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report because the time is very less. That's why I request you pause the video, study the report. After that, you can proceed further with the remaining reports. This is the procedure you should follow for all the different types of reports in this video. Okay, next, yearly time frame. Let us find the stocks price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, half yearly time frame. Stocks near half yearly supply zone. 1 stock is filtered. Next, half yearly time frame. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. 7 stocks are filtered. Next, half yearly time frame. Price closed inside half yearly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. 1 stock is filtered. Next, quarterly time frame. Stocks near quarterly supply zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Next, quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. We got 34 stocks. First 22 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 34 stocks are filtered, and you can further reduce this list or filter this list based on EMA Confluence. So I am setting the filter EMA Confluence on the quarterly time frame for the quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. During EMA Confluence, the trend on quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we got 18 stocks. Now the list is down to 18 stocks. All these 18 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA Confluence. Okay, next, quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next monthly time frame, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. We got 41 stocks. So first 20 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 41 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence filter at monthly time frame, I am setting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence filter, and trend on the monthly time frame should be either up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down to 21 stocks. Scrolling the list down. Okay, next monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. We got 9 stocks. We can further filter with EMA Confluence on monthly time frame. Monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. Trend on monthly either up or down. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. These 3 monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA Confluence, but all the 3 zones are piercer zones. You can use piercer zone strategy on these stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. So I'm going to generate multiple reports for weekly because this is end of the week. So weekly time frame, stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 18 stocks, first 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Next weekly time frame, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Next weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got a big list. We got 71 stocks. I'm scrolling the list down for the reference purpose. Later on I will filter with EMA Confluence. So from these 71 stocks, how many are having EMA Confluence? Let us verify. Weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence filter I am setting on the weekly time frame. And this filter should work in the weekly trend up or down. Let's filter. See, now from 71 stocks, the list is come down to 16 stocks. And all these 16 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. So these zones are having more high probability compared to the remaining filtered stocks. Okay, next for weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got 21 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks. Out of these 21, how many are having a weekly supply zone with weekly EMA Confluence? Let us filter. At weekly time frame, I'm setting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence, and trend on weekly time frame should be up or down. Let's filter. Now 9 stocks are filtered. These 9 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. Next weekly time frame, let us identify the tested demand zones during this week. The stocks having tested demand zones. So total 25 weekly demand zones are tested during this week. So first 19 in the list, scrolling the list down, 25. So these 25 stocks having the demand zones, weekly demand zones are tested. Next, tested weekly supply zones we will verify for weekly time frame. Stocks having the tested weekly supply zone, we got 20 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Next, let us identify newly created zones for weekly time frame. Let us find the stocks having newly created demand zones. So these 7 stocks are having newly created weekly demand zones. Okay, next, weekly time frame. Let us find the stocks having newly created weekly supply zones. So these 13 stocks are having newly created weekly supply zones. Next, let us filter the stocks based on the zone confluence. So weekly time frame. Stocks having LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, that is weekly, monthly and quarterly demand zone confluence. So let us set 3 filters. Weekly demand zone having monthly demand zone confluence, weekly demand zone having quarterly demand zone confluence, and monthly demand zone having quarterly demand zone confluence. With these 3 filters, we got a big list. We got 40 stocks. But let me show you all the 40 for your reference purpose. So these 40 we can further filter based on quarterly EMA confluence, because weekly zone is part of the monthly, both together part of the quarterly. If quarterly zone is having quarterly, they are even more high probability setup zones. So in the EMA confluence at a quarterly time frame, because weekly zone together with monthly zone part of the quarterly zone. That's why I am setting quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and trend on quarterly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. We got all 20 stocks. Demand zone quarterly, monthly, quarterly, weekly, monthly, weekly. EMA confluence, quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA confluence. Weekly time frame should be demand zone. So total 20 stocks are filtered. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20. Similarly, we will identify LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. So entry time frame weekly, in the supply zone confluence, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. Weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly supply zone with quarterly supply zone confluence, monthly supply zone with quarterly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 8 stocks. That means weekly zone is part of the monthly, both together again part of the quarterly. Now quarterly, how many of these 8 stocks are having quarterly EMA confluence? Let's verify, because weekly is part of quarterly. So in the EMA confluence at quarterly time frame, quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and trend on quarterly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So finally we got 2 stocks. These are some high probability setup related zones. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got a big list. So 24 stocks are filtered near to the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks you are seeing in this list. Now let us identify high liquidity zones from this list. Supply is having a high liquidity zone, daily zone. Next, idea. Next, L&T. Next, Metropolis. Next, NMDC. PNB, Punjab National Bank. State Bank of India. That's it. We have identified 7 daily high liquidity demand zones from this list. 7 zones we identified. Okay, next, daily time frame. Let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. We got only 2 stocks and we don't have any high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next, for daily time frame, price closed inside the daily demand zone. We got 72 stocks and first 15 stocks in the list. Quickly I will scroll the list for the reference purpose. Later on I will further filter based on daily EMA Confluence. I am scrolling the list down. So total 72 stocks. Out of these 72, how many of these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence? Let's verify. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence, and trend on the daily time frame can be either up or down but not sideways. So with these filters, we got only 7 stocks. From 72, the list is come down to 7 stocks. And these 7 stocks, these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence. And a couple of these stocks are pierced zones. You can apply pierced zone strategy. I think 3 stocks out of 7. Okay, this is about price closed inside the daily demand zone. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the daily supply zone. So we got 22 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone, supply zone. Out of these 22 daily supply zones, how many are having a daily EMA Confluence? Let us further filter this list by setting EMA filter. So in the EMA Confluence parameter at a daily time frame, I am selecting daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, and trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. 9 stocks are filtered. These 9 daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence, and current price is closed inside the daily supply zone. So this is about the daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Next 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. And let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Crompton is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. Gale is having a high liquidity zone. HDFC AMC is having a high liquidity zone. HDFC Bank is not valid, it is a pierced zone. And Zomato is also having high liquidity zone. We identified 4 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. Dalmia Bharat is not valid, it is a pierced zone. Lupin is having a high liquidity zone. That's it. We have only one high liquidity 75 minute supply zone from this list. Okay. Next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 8 stocks are filtered. Next 25 minutes time frame, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. 8 stocks are filtered. The next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 13 stocks. And out of these 15, how many are having ITF Confluence? Let us further filter. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone Confluence. So with this filter, we got 9 stocks. And a few demand zones are pierced demand zones, they are not valid. In remaining 7, these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Let's verify how many of these stocks are having ITF supply zone Confluence. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone Confluence. I am enabling that filter. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 11 stocks. Let's verify how many of these stocks are having ITF demand zone Confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone Confluence. I am enabling the filter. We got 2 stocks. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Out of these 11, how many supply zones are having ITF supply zone Confluence? Let us verify. So in the supply zone Confluence, 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone Confluence, I am enabling the filter. We got 3 stocks. Out of these 3, the third one is a pierced supply zone, you can't use it. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. We also identified daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. So next set of reports are about NIFTY and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY. So Nifty 50 generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And apply the same rules to remaining supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. We have all our supply zones. Let me scroll the list down here. 33 we have demand zone. Let me put it in the center so that you can see. These are the demand zones and these are the supply zones. So 33 is the nearest to the current price. 32 is the nearest supply zone to the current price. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All these are all supply zones. And 49, this is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Okay. So this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, Bank Nifty. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. Monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Here you have the demand zone. Let me put it in the center. Okay, next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Bank Nifty. All these are all supply zones. So this is the nearest demand zone, pierced demand zone. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next we will generate a bullish and bearish trade setups, starting with monthly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at daily time frame. I am selecting bullish, and daily demand zones and zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score 12. Both filters are applied to daily demand zone. So we got 9 stocks. All these 9 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame, daily demand zones. We can further filter this list based on zone confluence to find the high probability zones. So first filter is LTF, ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With this filter we got 8 stocks. And the weekly trend is uptrend. Let us look for weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. So these 3 stocks are even more high probability trade setup supported zones. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence, removing EMA filter in the demand zone confluence. First filter daily with weekly zone confluence, second filter daily with monthly demand zone confluence, third filter weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence, we got 4 stocks. Out of these 4, first 3 are having uptrend. If any of these 3 stocks are having a monthly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. So in the EMA confluence, monthly time frame, I am filtering based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Now one stock is filtered, so this is even more high probability trade setup, daily demand zone. So this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. These 3 are currently supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frames are daily supply zones. Out of these 3, let us find high probability based on zone confluence. First filter is LTF, ITF, supply zone confluence. That is a daily and a weekly supply zone confluence. So with this filter, out of 3, all the 3 stocks are filtered. Okay. And ITF trend is down. Let us look for EMA confluence on ITF time frame. That is a weekly time frame having weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. With this filter, we got all the 3 stocks. So all 3 are high probability trade setup supported zones. Let us verify LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence, removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. Daily with weekly supply zone confluence, daily with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 1 stock. This is even more high probability trade setup supported stock. And trend is sideways, no need to check for EMA confluence. It does not add any extra advantage. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone demand zone, In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, bullish value is set, and the piercer zones should not be there on the 75 minutes time frame. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. That means zone is not pierced, and this filter is applied to 75 minutes demand zone, and remaining two filters, zone achievement V was at, minimum order enhancer score 12. With all the three filters, we got one stock. Currently this is the only one stock supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zone is 75 minutes demand zone. Let's check whether the 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone, that is LTF ITF zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got this stock, and trend is uptrend. Let's check whether it is having EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, because 75 minute zone is part of daily, I am setting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we did not get any stocks. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF specific filters are available or not. Removed EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, first filter is already enabled. Second filter, 75 with weekly demand zone confluence. And third filter, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters enabled, we got one stock. But you no need to check for EMA confluence, because the HTF trend is sideways. EMA confluence does not add any extra advantage in sideways trend. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish, and 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So pierced count at 75 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0, zone achievement V was at, minimum order enhancer score 12. With all the three filters, we got 11 stocks, and these 11 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15-minute supply zones. Out of these 11 15-minute supply zones, let us further filter based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF ITF supply zone confluence, that is 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. And out of these 6, ITF trend is down in all these stocks. Let us verify how many of these stocks are having even EMA confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. Now we got 4 stocks. These 4 are even more high probability trade setup supported supply zones. 75-minute supply zones. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Second one is 75 minutes with weekly supply zone confluence. Third one is daily with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, and out of these 2, the second one is having a downtrend. If this is having weekly EMA Confluence, it is even more high probability trade setup. Let us verify in the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence filter is enabled. Both stocks are filtered, but this is, you can't ignore it because trend is sideways. Sideways EMA Confluence does not add any advantage. But this one is downtrend. So this one is even more high probability trade setup supported stock. Maybe that is the reason we already tested 3 times this zone. Okay, this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, selecting 15 bullish and 15 minutes supply demand zone. 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced column, parameter at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. We got 4 stocks. These 4 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The same thing I explained in the today's the lesson 29.2. Let us look for LTF, ITF zone confluence from this list. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence, supported stocks out of 4. All 4 are having a ITF confluence. That means 15 minute zones are part of 75. And 75 minutes trend is up, that is ITF trend. Let's check how many ITF supply zones, demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF specific zone confluence, removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled. Next, 15 minute zone with daily zone confluence, 75 minutes zone with daily zone confluence, with all the 3 filters enabled. So no stocks are available. LTF, ITF, HTF specific, confluence specific. Okay, next let us look for bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. And 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. And we got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. Out of these 16, we can further filter based on zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 16, we got 11 stocks. In all these 11 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. Now let us further filter based on the ITF EMA confluence, because ITF trend is a downtrend. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. So we got 4 stocks. These 4 are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF specific supported stocks. So removing EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Second filter, 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone Confluence. Third filter, daily supply zone with weekly supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got 5 stocks. That means the 15 minutes zone is part of the 75, both together part of the daily. And daily trend is down in all these stocks except the third one. So if any of these 5 stocks except third, they are having a EMA Confluence, daily supply zone with EMA Confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA Confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. Ignore the second one because the trend is sideways. Remaining 3 stocks, trend is downtrend. And also zone is having daily EMA Confluence. So first one, third one and fourth one are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. So this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. In the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. After that you can proceed further. I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.